like your take on boobies. And I like boobies.
Gun, higher.
I am the high.
Don't
Test
higher.
gun. I am the high gun.
Don't
Test me.
I am the
I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all. How you want a submission to pinfall? I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all.
Welcome to the Turnbuckle Talk Podcast with your host, the High Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. How y'all doing, y'all? So, let's get into it. Busy weekend. It just happened. Saturday and Sunday. Everything was good. Some was better than others. Some things we gotta question that. But let's get into the stuff thing. Let's get into the stuff thing. The stuff thing is important more than anything else right now. So, Seth had a match with LA Knight. Seth was supposed to win that match, right? But it didn't, and they made an audible because Seth got hurt. Seth was supposed to win, but he came out limping. He got back up. LA Knight finished him off, and that was it. Now, is he really hurt? Is the question, man. Is Seth really hurt? Is Seth hurt? Or what I thought? Oh, so is he hurt? Because if he's hurt, damn. A lot of planes got to get strapped if he hurt. But I see saying if, because the first thing I thought about when this happened is Seth is gonna play like he's hurt and he's gonna cash in, but that didn't happen. So then I went back to saying, damn, what if he's hurt? Right? What if he's hurt? What if he's really hurt? Then you gotta strap plans and stuff. Now. Sunday happened. They say Seth was in the back Evolution, and they said Seth was all bandages up. His knee was all bandages up. They didn't show him, so there's still no video of him in the back, and his knees all caked up, all like he's in a brace and everything. None of that happened. Now I say that because sometimes when wrestlers get hurt, you see them in the and then you see them out in public. You see them with a cast on, or a brace on, or something to let you know something ain't right. All right, even if they're not really hurt, right? And that happened with Jacob. All right, that happened with Dom and other wrestlers, right? Either they get in the wrestling or something. But they didn't. There was no photo of that. Now, that's not why I'm saying he might not be hurt. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is Monday on Raw. How money played out, they didn't really mention Seth. They mentioned that he got hurt and hurt his knee. And then Paul said, hey, Seth can cash in. Yeah, Seth got a year to cash in. Seth wasn't at Raw last night. His guys was. Paul was. Ron Raker and Bronson Reed was, yeah. And then they mentioned he got hurt, but they didn't mention how deep it was. Now, they was in Alabama, all right? And the doctors that see certain wrestlers for surgeries and checkups and stuff is there too. So, you know, Seth should have seen that. Seth should have did all that and been at Raw. Now, what else happened at Raw? The right stuff happened at Raw to make you think Seth ain't really hurt. The gauntlet match. Who won? CM Punk won. Right? So CM Punk's gonna wrestle Gunther at SummerSlam. So the CM Punk win. And then Seth shows up. He shows up. And he cashes in. And then we see that Seth's not hurt anymore, and he cashes in on CM Punk. Because remember now, Seth said that CM Punk would never reach out while he's there. Alright? Seth said that CM Punk would never reach out while he's there. Alright. So, do we get a Drew McIntyre situation where CM Punk's champ for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then we hear Seth's music, and woof, he cashes in, and CM Punk gets pinned. Now, I don't know. Like, I'm iffy about this Seth situation. I'm iffy about it. Like, it could be anything going on. He could be really hurt. It could be legit. It may not be legit because there's a rumor going around that Seth. There's a rumor going around a couple days before Saturday Night Main Event that said, hey, we're gonna run an injury angle. And what happened Saturday? There was an injury angle, right? So we don't know. We don't know if Seth is really hurt. We don't know what's gonna happen. We gotta wait to SummerSlam, which is in 2 weeks. So, moving on. So, I watched a little AEW. I did. I'm happy that the John Moxley situation is over with him being champ. The Death Rider stuff is not over with, but him being champ is over with. And that's a good thing, because that had to change. Alright? They literally had to change. And they told a good story. So I give them that too. The Toni Storm and Monet match was great. Monet had to lose. She had to lose. No way around it. She had to lose. MJF won. Athena had to win her Rumble match too. Everything that happened to AEW was good. Right, going in the right direction. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. Evolution. I enjoyed Evolution. Okay. Like, so much that I had to think about, did I watch the first Women's Evolution match? And if I did, it's blurry. It's blurry. But I enjoyed this one. And I'm in the minority saying they should have this every year. Is it gonna happen every year? Don't know, because Triple H, he was non-committal to doing it every year. All right, in the first company. But the woman, if the main event doesn't do numbers the right way, it ain't the women's fault. Tell you that right now. I enjoyed that. And I even enjoyed the cash in with Naomi because I didn't see it coming. Like, I thought she was on cash in on Tiffany this whole time. And she didn't. And I'm glad she did. I'm glad she said, nah, I don't know how long this title reign is going to be, but she's champ. And it keeps 100% thing. It keeps the 100%. If you win the women's Money in the Bank cash in, you are 100% favored to be champ. And I'm glad that happened too. All right, I'm glad the first woman to cash in and not be successful was not a black woman. Okay, I am happy that it didn't happen. Okay, now again, you know, when the Street Profits lost the tag team titles, we had people saying, "Oh, the Street Profits deserve better." I don't want to hear this shit with Naomi. I don't. She won. She cashed in. If I'm not mistaken, If I'm not mistaken, she's the first black a female wrestler to cash in Money in the Bank. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that, but you know, so I don't think she's gonna lose at SummerSlam. She could, because she's in the three-way. Alright? She's in the three-way with EO and Ronda Rousey. Not Ronda Rousey, I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley. So, she don't even got to be pinned to lose. But right now, I also think Tiffany Stratton, and I think Tiffany's gonna lose anyway. I think that's gonna be a thing. Alright, but you know, her winning is a good thing in more ways than one. And I'm happy she won. I'm happy she cashed in. I'm happy there was a swerve in the situation and she cashed in and she's champ. Now, what else happened? Now, this is another reason why I don't think she's gonna be champ long. So, her being champ, world heavyweight champion, is that they had to move her to Raw. The Rowan twin is on Raw. Right? Jay's on Raw. Jimmy's on SmackDown. So they don't do that a lot. They don't separate couples. Alright? Now, it has happened on the Triple H watch. It has happened twice. Alright? Now, Tiffany Stratton and her boyfriend on different shows. Alright, Kaiser is her boyfriend. Different shows. She's on SmackDown, he's on Raw. Alright? Same thing now with Naomi and Jimmy Uso. He's on SmackDown, she's on Raw now. I could be wrong. Right? I could be wrong, and it could be a Tiffany Stratton situation, because she's still champ. Right? And they've been apart, and they've been apart for like months when it comes to on the same brand. Alright? So Naomi could have like a 4 to 6 months period of time. You know? Now the draft is supposed to happen, so they might just draft Jimmy to Raw and fix that situation. You know, but and it's not like they don't keep couples together because Anderson .Paak and his wife are on the same brand. So there's that too, right? But as of right now, and then they shift her away from the whole, like after the Jade and Bianca situation, they shift her away from that. Now, I will say this. This is good then, because whether you want to turn Bianca heel, you can now. And it won't get in the way of Naomi being champ. Because before, if you turn Bianca heel and she aligned herself with Naomi's champ. So it makes Bianca a second fiddle then. Right? Right? This way that doesn't happen. You don't have a third wheel in this situation anymore then. Right? So that happened. Alright, but I'm happy for Naomi. I really am. I used to get slack for how I felt about Naomi, it was never nothing bad about her. I just didn't love Naomi like everybody else did. But I always said that she was the RVD the RVD women's the women's RVD. That's what I said. And some people got so mad. Some people got, and mind you, this is before she won any world title. When I said this, so her winning 2 world titles, and me still thinking that's not a fucking bad thing. She's not a fuck up. Like RVD, like athletic wise, that's who she reminded me of. And people got mad about that shit. Like that was a curse or something. Or that was a bad thing. RVD is a Hall of Famer. So, but I'm happy. I'm happy for her. I really am. I'm glad for a lot of reasons. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she wasn't the first black woman to cash in and failed. I'm glad she's the first black female to cash in winner. Alright? I'm happy she's champ. So she deserves it. So there's that. Let's talk about Roman came out last night and he got the biggest pop out of everybody. Alright? So that's a good thing. Now, let me say this about the whole Jimmy. Not Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy's in this. The whole Jay thing. I knew something was wrong when they didn't switch Jay over to help Jimmy and Jacob. Alright? And they left him on Raw. Because they can just switch him. LA Knight was on Raw last night in the Gauntlet match. He lost, but he was on there last night. Right? Chelsea Green was on Raw last night. So they can switch Jay to and they've had Jay on SmackDown before. But he's been helping Sammy, and he's been helping Penta. He's been helping them instead of helping Jimmy them. And the reason made sense then. Last night. Now, whether some of this changed with last night, Roman came back. And Roman came back and he helped he helped Jay and CM Punk last night. Right? He helped them last night. This is more about the Jay more than CM Punk. The CM Punk's gonna fight Gunther, so that don't even matter. Per se. It don't matter now. But he helped Jay. And Jay and Roman are gonna tag to fight Ron Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's gonna happen. Now, was it gonna be different? Maybe. But, and this is what comes into play again. Now, were they gonna fight, or was Seth and Roman gonna fight at SummerSlam before this injury happened? Don't know. Are they gonna save that match? Maybe. So because in 2 weeks they already got 10 matches set up and stories and everything, and 2 weeks already for SummerSlam. All right, I'm not gonna name all these matches right now because it doesn't. They're not done yet. But some stuff is already set in stone already. All right, or on its way to be set in stone. So, but again, like we eliminated Seth out of this, and Roman and Jay are gonna fight Braun Breaker and Russ Reed. Okay. So I mean, then that saves the whole Seth and Roman for a different time, right? Right? And because again, I think CM Punk is gonna beat Gunther, and then Seth is gonna cash in on him. I think that's gonna happen. Alright? So I also think that either Jimmy is gonna fight solo for the United States title, or Jacob's gonna fight solo. And then, but I also feel like Jacob could fight the other Tama brother. Alright? That could happen. So something we just gotta wait and see how it play out. Right? But like I said, they got stuff already in motion. So no, hold on. I was wrong about something. So I thought that R-Truth was gonna lose to Anderson Black. Now they also cut that match by a lot, because the whole Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul shit went longer than expected, so they had to cut some of that match. R-Truth won though. Very, very surprised he won. Now, what I wasn't wrong about was Anderson Black moving on to fight Damian Priest, which is probably going to be on the SummerSlam card, which is cool. Okay. This also eliminates the whole Anderson Black don't like to get pinned, or he won't put somebody over. He put over R-Truth. Now, there's a picture roaming around R-Truth, the Street Profits, and Carmelo Hayes in a photo together. And R-Truth says, "I'm driving, hop in." Now, I wouldn't mind this. I wouldn't mind it as a group. Now, how far they get pushes, who knows? But I wouldn't mind it. It gives fresh air for a couple of wrestlers, right? Mainly Carmelo Hayes, and then the Street Profits have a group, and R-Truth has a group, and then they can deal with certain people now, like the White Six. Now, listen, y'all. I'm not a fan of the White Six like that. Happy they got these tag team titles, and they're not jobbers, because But I hope it's not a long title run. They don't need them that long. They want them. God bless them. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, but we'll see. We'll see how that go. Like, the better tag team division is still SmackDown. And I love Judgment Day. I love Finn and JD as tag team champions. I wish Finn was an IC champion, but we're finna get Dom and AJ at SummerSlam, because I'm pretty sure Dom's finna get cleared next week. If he's not already cleared, because he took a bump like last night. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. But the weekend was great. Alright? And this whole tribalism shit that you can't watch one and not the other. It's horse shit. So I watch it all. So, you know, it's a good weekend for wrestling. It really was. I enjoyed everything I watched this weekend. You know, I did, and then TNA. I'm gonna have a TNA too before I go, but you know, AEW put on a good show. You know, WWE put on a good show. Now, WWE is not going to turn away from this kind of shit of having shows at the same time AEW has shows, because they already named their next pay per view, and it's going on the same time, it's the same date as the AEW pay per view. So this is going to be a thing, and wrestlers can feel some type of way. It is what it is. Just make a better show. This ain't the first time this shit don't happen. It won't be the last. They like doing it. They do. Like the E want their fans to watch their shit. Right? And AEW wants you to watch, and that's you. But they want other fans to watch their shit. So you just gotta pick. You know? Hey, you just gotta pick sometimes. And it is what it is after that. TNA is supposed to have a new TV deal. Now, one thing I'm happy they did, I can watch TNA on YouTube TV now. I mean on YouTube, with no problem. All right, I can watch it. I've watched it twice. I watched it the last 2 weeks on YouTube. You know, because they went that route. But they wasn't the new TV deal somewhere else, a bigger TV deal, so you can see it more. And their product's pretty good. It ain't the same as it was back in the day. And I don't think it ever will. And then there's rumors that AJ might be AJ Styles might be showing up at Slammiversary. I hope he does. Now, let me say this now. I was one of these people that was saying that WWE might as well just buy TNA. As we stand, they don't need to. They get to pick and choose who they wanted to be on their show. Or NXT. So, you know, it is what it is after that. But I'm happy with TNA. I really am. So I started watching at one point, and now I watch it like I watch AEW and WWE. Now it's gonna take more of them showing out and selling out for me to think they're the number 2 brand. But I watch, and I'm happy. I really am happy for them. You know, and they got certain stuff I like. I hate that some of them get plucked. I do. And whether it's going to WWE or going to TNA, going to AEW, like, I hate to get plucked. You know. But we'll see. But I'm going to end the show with that. Make sure you got like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch New Breed. We have a bunch of content coming out. Just support us, yo, and God bless y'all. Alright, this is the High Gun. Love y'all. God bless. I'm out.